Hello, welcome to the Stockinette Zombies. I'm Amy, also known as Janitma.
And I'm Megan, also known as Just Run Knit, and this is episode 179. It's nice and muggy out. I've got that bushy blonde hairdo. That's the song that came into my head when I looked into the mirror. I was like, oh, bushy blonde hair. Surfing USA.
Cool.
Yeah, did you have a good, not quite a week. We're
Right.
actually on schedule. And I'm going to put like normal in quotes. We're back to normal,
Yeah.
as normal as we get.
Yes, very true. Yeah, it was nice. We had some friends in from out of town and got to hang out with them and go swimming, and their kids stayed the night at our house. And so there was lots of jibber jabber past bedtime, and we kind of felt it today.
Yes, it always catches up.
Yes, and then Lucy had her third writing lesson, and that was exciting, and we're on schedule to have another one next week, so hopefully that'll go well the rest of the summer. And they're already telling us about winter gear for, I'm like, well, let's not get ahead of ourselves.
It's true. It's good to try things without the pressure of being like locked in.
Yeah. Yep, it's a month-to-month thing, and yeah. So anyway, did that, and then spun for the Tour de Fleece, which I am enjoying getting a lot of spinning in for that. July is always my, like, get my mojo back, get the hunger to get some more hand spun done. And then hopefully I will start using some of it too.
Well, you've got your hat pattern that you use a lot of hand spun for, right?
Yep. And I need to come up with a cowl pattern as well, because I have a lot of these like 2-ounce skeins of yarn that seem like, oh, well, that could be a good cowl, because it's a lighter wood. I usually make those types of things spun smaller, so they're usually close to a fingering weight.
Not to be self-promoting, but the Measure in Love cowl is really pretty and hand spun. I've seen it.
Cowl? Okay.
Yeah. And the pattern includes both.
Yes, it does. I have knit both, although the Measure in Love cowl I made, I tried to make the infinity with too few yardage,
Yes.
and it was not good. But my fault.
It's all the designer's fault.
I said my fault.
We've been really busy. We've got as I mentioned, I think last week, we've got a new neighbor that we've been doing a lot more play dates. And I don't know if it's just the age of my children is finally getting to the point where we're doing a lot of play dates. Yesterday we went to Minions for my daughter's birthday. My daughter had her 9th birthday, which it just occurred to me that I'm supposed to be halfway done parenting her. I'm like,
wow,
what?
Yeah.
Halfway to 18? What? How is that possible? And then we went back and we're looking at some of our old pictures, and I was like, oh my goodness, look at how young we all were 9 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
In my mind, people, I haven't aged, and my children obviously have aged because they didn't come out that size, thank goodness, but, it's oh, I don't know, time. It goes.
Marches on.
Yes, I recommend the Minion movie. It's very cute. For some reason, it was very grating to me, their little gibberish talk. When it's
Minionese.
When it was spoken just and Gru was talking, it was just intermittent. It was okay, but I mean, a large part of the dialogue in the Minion movie is the
Be-doo.
yeah, but not that. There's some Spanish words and French words and English words all intermixed in there. The gibberish had to get more creative because there was more dialogue. And for some reason that was grating to me. Totally cute movie. Love the plot line. Love those little yellow guys, but for some reason at one point I had to pull out my phone and Google what language are they really speaking. This is starting to get grating to me. But that was fun. We had some pizza. The neighbor girl's birthday was today, and we went to the swimming pool, and it's just been a whirlwind of activities. We kind of do that in Minnesota when the weather's finally nice.
Yes. Nothing is routine and everything's upended. Yes. We went bowling today because it was muggy and we just thought we'd stay inside but do something active. And they have that kids bowl free program. Highly recommend. It works. It works. So if there's an affiliate in your town, it's just kidsbowlfree.com, I think, or kidsbowlforfree.com. Google it. You'll get there. And then once you click through there, you can get an affiliate. And there's 2 in Rochester, Minnesota, and there's some in Canada as well. And then you just click and you get 2 free games a day per child. And then they have, like, our Velocity had a special that for all summer long you paid like $20 per adult, and then the adult could bowl with the kid for that price, so you didn't have to pay per game. So it's very cheap bowling in the summer. And
I could see where that maybe their numbers trickle down a little bit in the summer.
Bit, like a lot of it.
Yeah. Lake or going to the bowling alley.
Yeah, exactly. But really,
you went today, right?
Yeah, I did. I went today, and we didn't do the thing where you buy up front to get the adult bowling for free, because we may never do it again. But it was really easy to sign up for the coupons, and once you have them, you can use an app or you can print them out, and you get 2 free games per day per child. Pretty good.
Cool. I did not have any other jibber jabber. I wanted to briefly mention that we have the cowl going on, the Not a Sock self-striping sock yarn, the NASI, the NASI cowl. Kind of sounds sassy, but with an N.
Yeah, N-A, 4 S's and a Y.
And Amy and I are both very diligently working on our projects, but you'll hear about that in works in progress. I just meant like literally at this moment.
Yes.
We're both working on it. But as per my promise, I have a skein of the Vesper sock yarn, which is 100% merino, 240 or 428 self-stripe yards of self-striping goodness in the happy colorway, and it is super happy, rainbow-tastic. Got a little bit of flack at the retreat that we needed to lean forward when we were showing things off, so.
It is a bit far.
It is, but I will post a picture on Instagram of this lovely wonderfulness. I took a picture of it out in the grass today.
Ooh.
Yes, and it was very happy and bright and wonderful. But to enter for this, we will have a thread out in and kind of get things kick-started and also get people thinking about patterns. I want you to go out to the forum and link to a pattern that you think would work really well with self-striping. That is not socks, because remember, we're NASI. We're not a self-striping sock yarn cowl. And so you link, and we'll have this really great directory for anybody that's looking for, but I normally knit socks. You could go out to this forum and look at all of the wonderful patterns that people have recommended for self-striping, and then from that we'll draw, and somebody will get a skein of yarn that maybe they could even use their recommendation for. It is super happy. Her greens always make me very happy. Her greens and her blues. And then I think the addition of the pink in there almost adds like a little bit of a watermelon feel to me. I don't know. It's got oranges. It's got all of the colors are just fantastic. Love Vesper's color sense. And so yeah, go out and join the fun and recommend a pattern that works well for self-striping sock yarn that is not socks.
All right.
And then we, and by we I mean I, told Amy I would like to do a knit-stalgia. We have not done a knit-stalgia in a while, and as part of our podcaster panel, people were describing what they'd like to hear about on podcasts, and one of the segments was basically knit-stalgia, like to go back and look at some things you've knit and see how they've worn, or if you like them, or if you're in love with them now that you've tried to wear them as you were when you finished them. And so, do you want me to go first?
I can go first.
Okay.
This is a Megan's got a hit and a miss. I've got a hit. So this is my hitchhiker. I think I've knit 2 or 3 hitchhikers. I'm not positive. I know I've knit 2, maybe 3. I really enjoyed the pattern for sure, but the reason I bought that sweater's quantity of Kel's Sport was because of this garment.
That gown.
Or this object. So I really love how this is wearing. It is just a lovely smush, and I have a few other 3 Irish girls like the Springdale DK, and they've all worn very nicely. This hasn't been washed too much because it's a shawl, but I do have a pair of socks.
Do you wear it primarily as a shawl? I kind of mentioned to folks that I didn't know how to wear like that elongated shape, and a lot of people have mentioned to me that they wear them like as like scarves, like going outside, protect yourself from the winter type scarf.
Oh yeah, I hardly ever wear, what do I want to call these really long ones.
Yeah, elongated.
And even triangle ones, I have a hard time wearing those as anything but a protective layer. If it's a nice long stole or a really big crescent, or that's the kind that I like to wear as a accessory. But this is definitely a nice winter scarf type. I have worn it just because it went really well with one particular outfit. I did wear it in the winter once as a cowl. But again, it was very much like a cowl, like really high up and not draped around my shoulders or anything. It was very much worn more like a cowl. So yeah, just nice, tuck everything up.
Yep.
So, yeah.
And you get your points kind of as almost like a ruffle around.
Yeah. So yeah, this is kind of how I wore this when it wasn't being a scarf, and the scarf just, imagine it zhuzhed back so that it was up. But yeah, I really like this, and this base, and I do have some socks that I made. I washed them with a non-color fast item, and so they don't look as vibrant, but the base is good. It's wearing good. The stitches still have a lot of definition in them. They're still looking very nice, but they were out of like a lemony yellow, and it was very pretty. But then, yeah, something else kind of overdyed them, so they're not as
muddied the colors.
Yeah, muddied the colors. But that wasn't the fault of 3 Irish Girls. That was the other thing that I put in the wash with it that bled, and I don't even know what it was. Yeah, but it can happen with lighter colors. You gotta be careful.
Do you remember what year you knit that in?
No.
Okay. I was just curious. I went and wrote down because this one, I recently fell in love with this. I've been seeing people wearing them, and decided to put it back on. This is the Castle Pullover by Cecily Goff McDonald. I think I knitted it as part of Camp Loopy. April 2013. That wouldn't have been at Camp Loopy. I must have gotten the yarn from the Loopy U though. This is wool balance, so it is a 50% cotton, 50% merino blend. You get a really nice marl with that. I like it because it's a nice light layer.
Got feet in my face.
And a belly. And I don't feel warm. So like yesterday, I threw this on before we went to that party. And yes, I'm wearing it again today because I wanted to talk about it on knit-stalgia. And I had these linen kind of loose pants on, and I just wanted something knitted to wear over the top. And my husband's like, "Oh, aren't you just like sweltering in that?" Because it was kind of warm yesterday as well. And I was like, actually, it's a really nice light layer. Did you find out your year?
April 2012.
Okay, so the same time I knit. No, 2013. So.
Yeah. So 1 year earlier.
1 year earlier. It is wearing really well for being 3 years old.
Yeah. And like I said, I haven't been too hard on this, but I have socks that I wear, and I've been hard on them, and they've washed, and they still have really good stitch definition for being sport weight socks. And yeah, it is also a pleasure to knit with it.
So similar here, right? Like, I mean, this cotton, I don't think that it occurred to me that it was cotton as I was knitting it, because it's kind of got that merino to balance out, give it some elasticity, and also a really nice soft hand. I liked that the top was kind of simple, and that you could start the lace at any point, and I just really love it. As I told Amy, I fell in love with it. Like, it's now like, I like this, and I'm going to wear this a lot in the summer. And it's wearing really well. The oval balance is washed up nice. But juxtapose that with something I knit the following year. So in 2013, no, I guess I knit it earlier that year. February of 2013, I knit my vitamin D. This is the case of, I really love the yarn. The yarn is washed up really well. It's very soft. The colors are so very me. I knit my mom the French word that means studio, but I can't think of the name of it, out of it, and these were the leftovers. But I think that I wanted it to have long sleeves, so I wanted to add length, but not run out to have long sleeves, and it's just a little short. So I was showing Amy, I'm gonna get warm here with all this stuff, but it's just a little short in the back. Like, there's nothing that really tethers it down. Like, if I pull it down, it's long enough, but then it creeps up slowly up the back. And then I just don't know what to do with these fronts. So Amy very aptly pointed out that this is similar to a Hitofude, but we believe the Hitofude kind of starts the increases like here-ish, and they're not as drastic.
So yeah, I think that the main problem is that the drape starts way up here.
Yeah.
So like there's a lot of extra fabric right in here.
So my first inclination is to do something like that, but that's not like the look of it.
No.
I mean, I guess you could put something there, but then I don't know. So I might rip this out and repurpose the yarn. It's just such pretty yarn. I just love the colorway, and this TML is, it would make a really nice Hitofude. But yeah, so this has gotten very little wear. I believe the first ZK I wore it because a lot of other people that I knew, Annette and Jenna had some, and so we wanted to have kind of like we knit them independently, but we all have the pattern type moment, but yeah. I haven't really worn it since. Like, I had to dig to find it today, where I was like, I want to talk about so again, just a case of like the yarn and the pattern. I love the yarn, but the pattern just isn't my style. And I think that my TML, other things have washed and worn really well, but this just hasn't had the chance to show that off to me because I just don't. It's not the first thing I grab.
Yeah, my sweater closet is getting pretty deep.
Yeah,
it's hard to.
And I like the eyelet detail, and I like that there's short rows. I just think that it's
too many.
Yeah, it's just too much for me. I don't need the extra fabric in front. But yeah.
And I always flirted with making that, and then every time I got down to wanting to start it, I never did. So.
Want to try it on and see?
I could try it on.
Yeah. See if you fall in love with it. So that is knit-stalgia. I don't know. I think that as you more retrospective of our knits, like you were saying, like you've got 3 years in with that base now, and you're starting to go like, I should make more things with that.
Yeah, exactly. And sometimes that's the heartbreak, right? Like that base, you can't find it anymore, or whatever, whatever it might be. You're like, oh no. And it could be like I didn't ask Three Irish Girls if they had the exact same supplier for their Kells Sport, but I'm assuming it's the same base.
Is it Kells or
Kells? Just KELLS.
Okay.
Kells Sport. And I really like it, and And if I'm wrong, maybe there's an I in it, but I always thought it was Kelsport.
Oh no, I just know that it's Aaron and Kelly, but yeah, they probably named it before. Anyway.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, and I do like that yarn, and there's a couple other things that I'm probably forgetting, like Empathy is another one where it was like, oh, this is really nice yarn, I need to make more things with this. And
in general, when that happened, like adjacent to when I knit the project, where I started wearing it and loving it and whatever, I'll like stock up, like almost like you get like a, you put it in your cellar for like, oh, I know I like this space, and grab some colors. But yeah, if you kind of have that moment after it's worn really well, which we should all do, because we're putting all this time and effort into our knits, and we should have have them have good wear and tear.
Yeah, and I do have like a couple of the rustic yarns that are supposed to soften over time, and I just haven't gotten to the knitting part yet. Convinced myself to knit with them first, and then to figure out if it's all very true that they get softer and they get stronger as you wear them, unlike this merino stuff. So I think that might be my next obsession after the spinning is getting with some different fiber that might be a little bit more rustic or considered more rustic.
Yeah, I mean the Empathy definitely didn't draw me. It didn't have curb appeal.
No.
It was very hard to work with, but yeah, the stuff that I have that I've made out of it is washed really well. And that is knit-stalgia. Do you have any FOs?
So I finished the socks, but I didn't Kitchener the toe. So I am going to Kitchener the toe, and you will not see these again.
Okay.
So this is the fruit gum stripe, fruit striped gum pattern. I can't really do a good job of holding up my leg here. Skirt on. A little difficult.
You can make soft puppets.
That's true. So I have those.
My husband was impressed when he saw them yesterday. Ooh, you've got something interesting going on there.
Yeah. And then, so I make an adorable sock puppet. He's eating some needles. So then, I really liked working with Jenna's yarn, 716 Knit. It's really fun, and my daughter is giving me another chance to work with this bright yarn, which you'll see later.
When we talk about needle adjacent projects.
Yes, needle adjacent projects. I have a few.
Just a few. Yeah. Cast on crazy.
I do have the cast on crazy.
Do you normally get cast on crazy when you're spinning a lot?
No, this isn't. I think that this is just more that I went through my yarn. And when you go through your yarn and you see like all that you have in your stash, what big or small, right? There's always something that you didn't remember you owned. And you see all of it at once, no matter the size. You start to feel guilty about what you haven't been knitting, or the thing that you thought you really wanted to knit and haven't done yet. And it starts to drive you mad. And so I get a little cast on crazy whenever I do that. And since I was going through all of my bright yarns for my daughter, I was pulling out bins that I hadn't seen in a while, and decided that my husband and my son needed to pick out sock yarn as well, so that I could start all of those family sock projects here soon, so that by the time the really cold weather hits in the new year, they will all have socks. I mean, hopefully before then, but I have some sweaters planned, and I don't want to give up those either.
Yep.
And all of the spinning I'm doing, usually that kind of carries in a little bit further into the year than just Tour de Fleece. So, once you get on a roll, you don't want to stop.
Rolling
on the
and you had some singles that were resting or were ready to ply or something. I saw them on a...
Yep. I am applying some singles that I was doing on my Bosworth spindle. And so I have a plying spindle now, so it's just bigger and heavier. And I will be plying those, and then that leaves the Bosworth open, and I will start my hat that our lucky retreat goer received. So I can start that very soon, and I'm excited because it'll be something new for me. It's mostly black fiber with pops of white and rainbow in it. The rainbow is distributed throughout little backlets.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a green one and a blue one. I have the opposite here with white, a white rainbow battlet, and these are kind of not individualized. The black ones were each color was in an individual.
So you could do a knowledgeable progression.
Yes, knowledgeable progression is correct. Cool. So we're going to
intentional progression.
Yes, and she gave you 2 little battlets per color so that you could make sure that you're doing it in ply as well. So nice.
Nice.
I'm excited.
Nice.
So any hoozy.
Yep. I have some socks. My fishnets. Zombies Ufta colorway, and these are stripes. They look really short to me, and I think that it's because when I do them toe up, like I generally I put them on. I don't know. They fit just fine, but when I'm like looking at them, they look a lot shorter than my normal sock for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why. I did more of a. I rapidly increased towards the bottom to give it more of a, based on that percentage system. Mm-hmm. Can't remember what percentages it is that you just start decreasing every single one to make it more rounded. But this has my plain OMG heel, which is not as spacious as the spacious OMG heel. And they're kind of shorties, kind of summer length. Maybe got a little bit inspired by the Rose City rollers.
Oh yeah.
I don't know why I'd want them to roll, but I do like that they're just a little bit shorter. In the summer, it's easier. It's easy to legitimize that. Like, it's warm. What do you really need? Like a full calf sock for? Ankle socks are fine, right? So, I've got quite a bit of this left, and I do really love this base. I just love that base. So yeah, those socks are done. Next up for me, as far as like designing, in addition to that shawl, I want to get the spacious OMG top down combined with my current version of the toe up and get that out there because I've had some people asking me, and I've knit the top downs several times. Finding my notes is a little bit tricky because it's been, I think it was last year before the retreat that I knit my husband's some top down spacious OMG. But it's coming. I'm sorry to anybody that I was like, oh yeah, I'll get that out there. And I just need to sit down and do it. Mm-hmm. I've got the toe up ones. I just don't have the top down ones written up. And then the ZK prize winner, we did a drawing and she got to choose this beautiful colorway of MCS from Sun Valley Fibers. I enjoyed each and every stitch. Just each and every stitch. It's just the softest thing. It has not been washed or blocked yet, so that's up next. Added some length, added some sleeve length, and then she wanted it to be a bit oversized. So it is, it will be oversized on her. If you know Barb and are like, oh my goodness, that's going to be too big. She requested that it be oversized. I'm struggling with, I'm going to knit 5 more of these, and so I don't want to say the same things over and over again about them, but I do a Judy's Magic cast on of the whole stitch count versus the partial stitch count, which is how the pattern is written. The way that it is written is so that you just do one sleeve and then you get 2 rows on that one sleeve and then you work the whole part, because the way I'm doing it, I actually, one sleeve is 2 rows shorter than the other. I do not notice it when I wear it, nor do I feel like other people will notice it. Like, will come up and be like, oh, that sleeve seems too, I mean, it's down here near the bottom, and I always knit the sleeves oversized anyway, like very roomy, and I stretch them a lot when I block them. And so I don't notice, and it doesn't bother me that they're not perfectly symmetrical, and it saves me a lot of time. I have on one of mine not done the Judy's Magic cast on, and ended up just picking up stitches, which was kind of painful because you pick up the stitches and then you have to do the 3 needle bind off for the underarm here. I do the pattern repeats so that the V's match up the way the original pattern is written. You keep this, the back section not increasing, and you just increase on the fronts. I did not like how then the V's in the fronts didn't come together, because you end up with stitches that aren't getting worked. So I do increases across all of the stitches, but I do them less often. So I think I only did one from 8 to 10, from 10 to 12. So I only did 2 increase rows on this. And it ends up still being fairly drapey in the front. Of course, it's going to look very drapey with lots of positive ease through the armhole as well. But for some reason, I just like the way this sits better than that vitamin D that had the swoop. And this one will be, as they all are, very hard to get with. But July is done, and it's fantastico. And I've got August on the needles because I want to finish it up before I go to Stitches and buy some substitution or some more yarn.
Are you sure you have yarn?
I need to get some Miss Babs.
Okay.
And if I knit up what I bought last year, totally legitimizes it, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
So I taken that you're going to have a Miss Babs sweater in here somewhere?
Yep. Okay. The next Hitofude is a Miss Babs. Katahdin. But no, and I also alternated skeins throughout. I would recommend that even if you feel like it's not going to be a big deal. So like with the Katahdin, it's all one skein, 1,700 yards and one huge, ginormous skein. But I'm still alternating skeins because I feel like that I can't do anything more than that. So if I got like halfway through the sweater and all of a sudden I see a big line in it, if I was just using one strand, then I would second guess myself, right? Like, should I have alternated skeins? I probably should have. Should I rip back and alternate skeins? If you're already alternating skeins and it does some like pooly bits like your Hito spots did, like there's nothing you could have done about it, right? I mean, other than like you like stop and not use it, like actively try to like engineer around it. So yeah, and you can see some dark and light spots in this, but very, very pretty, very nice, like steely blue, skyish type blue. And it'll grow quite a bit. I've noticed these grow quite a bit lengthwise when you block them. I always try to put a lot of positive ease in them because I like the oversized ones, so I don't block them a lot widthwise, but it will grow quite a bit widthwise as well. I've noticed cashmere, when I block it, seems to grow a lot, especially when the cashmere is combined with something other than just merino. So if it's like a merino cashmere nylon, that'll grow a lot. So merino cashmere silk, that'll grow a lot. But yes, so, and I used my my new dress form to show it off. I asked folks out on Instagram to give me names, and the one that made me giggle the loudest or laugh the loudest was Peg, because she just has the one leg on the stand, and so my dress form is officially named Peg.
Okay. Peg.
Very pretty other names. I think her middle name might be Pearl, Peg Pearl.
Peg Pearl, PP?
Yeah, PPW, Peg Pearl Williams. She's taken I guess I could have given her my maiden name.
There you go. Yeah.
That one will live on in infamy. But yeah, that's my works in progress, my finished objects, and I'm getting warm. So I'm going to take my socks off. All right, what you working on there?
I'm working on the Typhoon, and the 716 self-striping, and the pink is hers as well, in the 716 sock. And that's it so far. It's very bright, and it will just get bigger and bigger. But I'm enjoying, just having the little back and forth sideways garter
Mm-hmm.
sections. When it gets to be the whole thing, it's just like, ugh, I don't know. So apparently I'm an applied edging kind of gal.
Ooh.
I really like this.
I do like the consuming of stitches, and I also like that you can like figure out how many more you have to do, right? Like it kind of meters it out for you.
Yep.
Gives you intermediate goals. Yeah, I'm with you.
So when I get to the next pink section, it's probably going to be like, oh yeah, that's going to be not a slog. I mean, the pink sections haven't taken more than a few days, but free time days. But yeah, that's that. And I showed you the sock.
I've done Piper's Journey. That does an applied edging, and I've really enjoyed that. And then I also I don't like the fit of heel flap and gussets, which is why I designed OMG. But I like that when you've got the stitches to consume, that you're like, oh, I've got 5 more on this, on both sides. Anyway, I'm with you.
Cool.
You're here.
Yay.
You're like, I've moved on, Megan.
I mean, it is the next thing that will get worked on quite a bit while I'm spinning. And then here is my blankie. I got these semi-solids added. I don't know how many or any of these that were added before. I think I was working on full length. So I've gotten to full length, and now I've started going up. And I've started playing with the semi-solids. So I'm enjoying these tonal semi-solids that are in here. And I have enough of them that I tend to lay them all out and go and swap them. And so picking the next one takes longer than actually knitting the next one. It's just terrible. Yeah. So that's kind of my lament about the sock blankie is that I spend too much time playing with the colors.
Yeah. But you're kind of a color person. I'm not gonna lie, I have been seriously thinking about how can I can use up all of my extras from all of my Hitofudes and kind of make a Hitofude blanket.
Oh, yeah.
I was thinking about how to make
the
mitered
start of something.
Yeah. Yep. Like mitered squares, but that have that lace repeat in them in some way.
Oh, okay. Yep.
I don't know. You got me thinking. I asked a lot of questions last week, if you didn't notice, because I was like, what's she doing over there? That looks interesting.
It is fun, and I guess with the color play, I'm just trying not to lump up too many colors because I'd rather have it be completely scrappy looking. Some people try to get it to gradiate, but that's going to take too much time because by the time you get enough yellows or enough reds together to, I don't know. It takes a lot more gathering and planning, and I kind of want it to come what may. So as soon as I get some extra yarn and I want to put it in there, the one thought I did have though is I really want to ball up some of these series. So I have that Gilmore Girls Club, and I have all of those, and it's like, oh, I'd really like to ball all of those up and put a square of each of those in there before I have to knit socks or something with them. But just so that I can make sure that they're together. I think if I waited until they actually got knit into objects, they might not end up together in the blanket.
But do you think you'll knit all of the objects before you
finish the blanket up?
Yeah. What's your long-term plan on the blanket?
Keep working on it until it's done.
What year will we be talking about that you finished it in knit-stalgia someday?
What year?
Is it in your 5-year plan?
It's in my 5-year plan.
Okay.
Yeah. If it goes beyond 5 years, I will be very sad.
It's good to have goals, especially about your crafting, right?
Woo! The whole rest of my life is fairly I don't know. I really need to take some time off just to catch up on my housework because it has been going to pot since summer.
This is my NASI self-striping, not a sock pattern. It is my the stitch pattern from my Static Zing socks, and it is being worked up on the very lovely It was a skein that I bought at the same time as this, and I chose which one I wanted, and I thought this one was a little more divergent, and I liked the yellow pop in it and the black juxtaposition and then some jewel tones. The colorway is Sesame Cha-Cha. And I Googled that because I'm like, is this a pop reference that I should know about? And all I found was like Sesame Street where like Grover's doing the cha-cha. So I'm mentally thinking of Grover doing the cha-cha.
Grover colors, yeah.
Yeah, and some Sesame Street. Maybe that's Big Bird. And maybe the non-tealy one is Cookie Monster. I see it. Maybe if I was more informed, I should have went out to her blog and looked if she's got. But love the hand of it. Makes me really sad that I'm not knitting socks out of it because it would be really fantastic on socks to knit up as socks. But they 100% merino doesn't work on my feet. They work on your feet. Go grab this base because it's super soft. And I've not used her one with nylon yet. What to say about it? Oh, this will not take. So I divided the balls into two so that they would, and they are striping the same direction, so I could have the one chase the other. And then the brim, I didn't do the stitch patterning on. I just knit it straight, so that's the normal. I think I like it better in socks with the smaller diameter because the stripes are bigger and the jumps are less often. So I think this won't take all of it. It will probably take about half of it. I might do it with a solid, make the brim a solid, and then mix the solid in with the self-striping, and then these colors should pop, and then it will still be the same. It'll change just as often if I do it the same diameter here. But, and I might go down a needle size. This seems a little loosey-goosey with the, I'm doing it on 2.5s. With the ribbing, it seems very loosey-goosey, but could just be that I'm used to a little thicker fabric when I'm working with sock yarn.
Yes.
And then, as I mentioned earlier, I got my arm workout today by balling up a huge skein of katahdin by Miss Babs. Yes. It is 1,700 yards, 1,750 of 100% blue-faced Leicester, 4-ply BFL, hand-painted, katahdin. Katahdin. And as I mentioned, I'm alternating skeins here, or not alternating skeins, but alternating ends. So I have the one that goes around and round on the top, and then the one that pulls from the bottom is on the bottom in my bag here, and it's windswept is the colorway. It's very pretty blues, total blues. And as I mentioned, I'm hoping to get this done so that I can buy more. Not that this one isn't fantastic, and it's not like I have to immediately replace it, but just to be able to buy more from Miss Babs. Why not, right? An excuse to go into the booth.
Yeah, exactly. I just went through all the yarn, like I said, and I would have a hard time justifying anything at this point. Anything. Even that rustic yarn, I have some, and it's ready to go. It just needs a pattern, and it's all there. So I have too much.
So this is provisionally cast on, and at the front it's a little awkward because you've got this spare needle spare needles that are just kind of hanging out. But after it gets going, it's just fine. So and that is August. Cool.
So I have some purchases from our marketplace that I hadn't talked about. So I have Naturally Knitting, or Knitty. These are heavy on the unicorn guts batlets. So there's unicorn guts in there with white. Very pretty.
And sparkles, right?
Yep, sparkles for sure.
And then you can't have unicorns without sparkles.
And then also with that we have the Puni style roll logs in the Northern Lights colorway. So both of those going on. Pretty pretty. Twinkle twinkle. And then the batlings from Hobbledehoy in the zombie shark colorway. Yeah, these are fun.
That apple, that Granny Smith apple green with those blues. So, good color sense runs in that family.
Yeah, fun stuff. I'm trying to get one grouping
representative set.
So, and that's just 3 of them. And there's 4 ounces in this bad boy, so lots of batlings there. I think my first set of batlings from her was just a couple ounces. And so I bought a bigger bag this time. And I love all of my fiber, but I kind of like that I only buy it in smaller batches so that I'm not growing that so much. I think that I shrink it more than I grow it these days, which is great.
That is the problem of buying sweater quantities.
Yes. It takes a while
if
to
you knit sweaters,
yeah.
you have to buy them, otherwise you kind of like kick yourself like, why didn't I buy more of this one? But then yes, stash grows by leaps and bounds. Bounds and leaps and bounds. I may or may not have some purchases that are coming. I was very jealous of the folks that were making the Spartacus dyes.
Oh yes, I
little
have those
rainbow
too.
sets, and so I got some of those, and then I needed more MCS in my life. So, not from Sun Valley per se, but I bought some MCS from the Loopy U.
Oh, that's right.
Lace. Yes, Miss Mary gave me a. Thank you, Miss Mary. Gave me a gift certificate, and I got some. Shalimar Breathless lace.
Oh.
Yes. MCS
nice.
Lace 800 yards for $30.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. But you'll see that next time. And then at the retreat, I forgot to mention last week, You Knitted Skeins of wool. She's doing, I believe she's doing bags and yarn. And I think we gave away a set as a prize. I know we gave away a set as a prize, but I can't remember if they were coordinated. But this is her Tuffy sock, which is BFL and nylon swoon, in the sunset colorway. And she is currently stationed in Germany, but will be starting up soonly once she gets stateside. So very pretty colors, purples and yellows and pinks. Love it. So thank you to You Knitted Skeins. And that was it. I just had future enabling that I wanted to talk about because I was excited about it.
Yeah, I was thinking when you were talking there that we did get a lot of prizes donated for the podcast while we were at the retreat.
Yep. Dreams of Fiber. She gave us a bunch of her colorway for the retreat colorway to give away. So we'll have to have a prize drawing for that. Maybe get your excuses on why you weren't able to come. Those are always fun.
And they better be elaborate and funny.
Yes. I enjoy the funny. We published, speaking of ZK, we published the dance video. So if you hadn't seen my little snippet on Instagram or the YouTube channel or on the website, go check it out. It makes me happy and sad all at the same time. I'm like, those people were just here. Why can't they still be here? But we had like a little organized dance break, and we had a ballroom dancer, and we had
your mom?
My mom was very coordinated. My daughter walked by. Forensic girl really got down. She did like a swizzle. But yes, it was super fun, and then we included some of, not all, but I hopefully grabbed a representative picture of everyone. I tried to. I surveyed them all and went like, my face recognition kicked in and tried to make sure that I got at least one of everybody from the photo booth, and none that were needed to be censored or anything. But yes, super fun. So go check that out. And yeah. That's it. Bye. Bye, Ufta.